The Tupolev Tu-128, once shrouded in Cold War secrecy, returns to the spotlight in 2025 with a fascinating resurgence of interest in its scale, mission, and legacy. On Military Might, we dive deep into the story of the world's largest and heaviest interceptor ever to see service. This isn't just a historical artifact, it's a symbol of Soviet air defense philosophy, and its relevance is echoing again today. Developed in the early 1960s and entering service in 1964, the Tu-128 was designed for one specific mission: the vast, vulnerable airspace of the Soviet Union from American strategic bombers, with over 13,000 kilometers of northern border. The USSR needed an aircraft that could fly far, fast, and carry heavy long-range radar and missiles to intercept intruders. The answer was the Tu-128, NATO codename Fiddler. The sheer size of the Tu-128 is staggering. With a length of nearly 30 meters and a wingspan exceeding 17 meters, it was closer in scale to a bomber than a typical fighter. Powered by two Lyoka AL-7F2 turbojet engines, it could reach speeds up to Mach 1.6. With a range over 2,500 kilometers, it wasn't agile, it wasn't stealthy, but it didn't need to be. Its purpose was to cruise long distances, detect incoming threats with its RPS Smerch radar, and launch missiles before enemy bombers even reached their targets. Each Tu-128 was armed with 4 massive Bisnavat, or 4 air-to-air missiles, with both radar-guided and infrared variants. These missiles could take out high-altitude bombers from distances up to 25 kilometers. The Tu-128's two-man crew, pilot and weapons officer, worked together in a cramped but functional cockpit, trusting radar and long-range sensors to hunt targets they often couldn't see with the naked eye. Despite its intimidating specs, the Tu-128 had limitations. It was expensive to operate, required long runways, and was vulnerable to more agile Western fighters if detected. But it did what it was designed to do: serve as the last line of defense in remote regions where other aircraft couldn't reach. By the late 1980s, newer interceptors like the MiG-31 began to replace the Tu-128. After more than 2 decades of service, the aircraft was retired in 1990. Only around 198 units were built, and very few survive today. But for the crews who flew them, and the strategists who relied on them, the Tu-128 was an indispensable tool. So why is the Tu-128 relevant in 2025? As great power competition rises again, and Arctic airspace grows in importance, the old strategies of long-range air defense are being re-evaluated. Modern Russia's focus on aircraft like the MiG-31BM and advanced radar coverage in northern regions shows that the same challenges the Tu-128 faced still matter today. While it's unlikely the Fiddler will ever fly again, its legacy is felt in every high-speed intercept mission patrolling the polar skies. On Military Might, we don't just look at aircraft, we study the doctrines and decisions that shaped them. The Tu-128 wasn't about dogfights, it was about endurance, reach, and defense over impossible distances. In an era where long-range threats are becoming relevant again, the Fiddler's story reminds us that sometimes SAS really does matter. Subscribe to Military Might for more stories behind the world's most powerful military machines, past, present, and future.